It's been a while since we've talked about this on my YouTube channel. The idea is when I upgrade to the Highline 600, I won't inject CO2. Hi everyone, George here, and welcome to this long overdue video of my Aquascape Highline 400 planted discus aquarium. So this has been running for about 10 months now, and it's been a real joy to live with, I have to say. It's had its issues. I've had a few algae issues, I've had a few plant health issues, and arguably I've had some discus health issues, so more on that later. But I just wanted to give you a full update on this Aquascape, talk about some key points that I think I've learnt, what's going on now and what to expect in the future from these fish and this setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do enjoy it, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I've done lots of updates on my Instagram. If you're interested in my aquascaping kind of daily activities, then do consider following me on there at George Farmer Studios. As I said, this has been running for 10 months now, and I think hopefully you'll all agree it looks great. The aquascape has developed nicely. There's minimal algae issues. There is some algae, and I'll show you that later. I'm not afraid to show you some of the issues that I've got, of course. I think that's all part of the fun and the learning is to share, you know, the whole experience. So the fish. So these are discus fish. These are Stenker discus. These are bred in Germany. Stenker discus are a well-known European discus breeding company, and they supply discus to the UK, and they're bred in hard water. I think the conductivity in the German premises measures about 800 microsiemens, which is very hard. I'm not sure what my tap water is in microsiemens, but I know it's a TDS of around 400, so it is very hard, which is different to the regular kind of soft water discus. You know, wild caught discus will prefer much softer water, but like I said, these have been bred in hard tap water. They're fed on beef heart, so it's a special beef heart mix which is actually supplied by the breeders, and it does contain a comprehensive mix of other trace elements, etc. So it's a complete meal. It is a controversial food because it is, you know, obviously largely protein, being beef heart, and arguably you could say, you know, when do these discus fish eat cows in the wild? Well, they don't, obviously, but they, you know, these are far removed from their wild cousins now. I think the most important thing I've noticed is the fish themselves have gotten darker over the months. And I am injecting CO2, and we'll talk about the whole system, the technical details later. But I have had some feedback, and they have expressed some concern that the fish are getting darker, and there is some theory that it's to do with CO2 intoxication, and the fish aren't actually happy at all in CO2 injected aquariums. And this is very interesting, and I cannot deny that the fish have got darker, you know, over the months. But interestingly, the behaviour, it still seems okay. I mean, they feed really well. They're spawning every couple of weeks or so. Their breathing rate doesn't seem too laboured, but they are really dark, aren't they? So this is a worry, and of course I want to give the fish the best environment that I can. So with that in mind, I am upgrading this whole system. So this is the Aquascape Highline 400. I'm going to put the rim lights on so we can see a bit more detail. There we go. Let's just get that a bit brighter for you. So yeah, this is the Aquascape Highline 400. Measures about 108 US gallons or 413 litres. It isn't too small for the fish, but I would like to give them a bigger home. So I'm going to upgrade to the Aquascape Highline 600, and I am going to not inject CO2. So at the moment, I've got pressurized CO2, and this goes in line. This is a Greenleaf Aquarium CO2 regulator, really good quality reg. That goes in line into a inline CO2 diffuser, in line with the Awase Biomaster 850 thermo, and then there's a 250 thermo here. So I am injecting CO2, and this is apparently that the CO2 injection is causing the dark colour of the fish. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think I'm slowly killing the fish? The idea is when I upgrade to the Highline 600, I won't inject CO2, and I'm going to use a cosmetic sand foreground, because apparently the dark soil will also make the fish darker. So I'll go for a white or a pale sand foreground, strong hardscape, and then just Amazon swords or something similar in the background, non-CO2 injection, and then see any colour change in the fish. So it'll be really interesting to observe that, and I'll share my findings with you guys. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting observation, of course. I do want the best for my fish, and I think it's you know, I've been, you know, giving this some thought, this video. I was thinking of producing it, you know, really, you know, 4K with my big camera and, you know, making it more professional. But I just thought, you know, I'll just sit down with my phone and just have a good old ramble and just film the fish as I'm talking about them. No editing, just keep it raw, keep it authentic. And yeah, just express some of my concerns, some of the observations I've had, some of the thoughts that I've got, you know, moving forward with this aquarium and these fish. You know, these are beautiful fish, and I think as I become kind of more experienced in the hobby, a bit more time in the hobby, spending time with different people in the hobby, you know, people like Ty Streetman, who's writing a book on aquatic habitats, and, you know, he works for a charity, freshwaterlifeproject.org, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, more about conservation and my own hobby, and, you know, the animals that we're keeping, am I giving them the best that I can? And you know, when you see that your fish are a bit dark and you're getting feedback off other people suggesting that CO2 is an issue, then it does make you think. And as someone, you know, with a following in the hobby, I think it's important to be honest and open and hopefully educate people. And if I'm making a mistake, then I learn from it, and everyone else does as well. So it's all good. So I'm very open to, you know, constructive criticism and feedback on these sort of things. And I don't want to shy away from it. And that's why I'm making this video right now. So, you know, I will say the fish do feed well. They seem active. They're very engaging with me. They let me stroke them, and they do spawn fairly frequently as well. So on paper they seem fine, but the anecdotal evidence suggests, you know, they are darker than they should be, I guess. And is that a symptom of CO2 or something else? And, you know, when I do upgrade the tank, you know, time will tell. So shall we run through the scape itself? You know, it's been running for 10 months now, and I think you'll agree it's quite successful. The plant growth has in the main been pretty good. Let's start off with the foreground, shall we? This is Cryptocorini parva, a notoriously slow growing carpeting species, and yeah, it's just about formed a solid carpet now after about 10 months. But yeah, this is just a really, really nice, low maintenance, slow growing, easy to maintain carpet. And then behind that we've got some different crypt species. Some of them have died right back, others have come back, and it's kind of evolved over the last 10 months or so. I mean, look how dark this fish is here. I mean, this is a great example, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't look, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, so various crypt species, Anubius, this is the regular Barteri, and then we've got Petite and then regular Nana. We've got trident fern here, and then more different species of Cryptocoryne here. And then in the background, we've got the classic Amazon swords. And this has been interesting. The leaves have been going longer over time. I'm pruning probably 10 to 20 leaves a week out of here from the Amazon swords. We do have a breeding population of cherry shrimp as well, which people are quite surprised at with the discus. You know, they just assume that they're going to get hunted out, but there's a very thriving population of cherry shrimp in here as well. There's loads of Amano shrimp. We've got lemon tetras. We've got 50 or so lemon tetras in here. And then we've got the Dark Discus as well. So we just talked about the equipment briefly. We've got a couple of Biomaster filters. I'm auto dosing 25 ml of Tropica Premium Nutrition a day. I don't use the specialised nutrition because there's a lot of nitrates and phosphates coming from the fish food with the beef heart. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think I'm slowly killing the fish? It'll be interesting to see how they get on in the bigger tank. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments about seed to injection and discus, if you've got an experience, or what you think. Please let me know. Okay guys, you take care. Keep on scaping. Cheerio.